Sins of the Empath. Truthseeker. Truthseeker, the pursuit of the truth. A noble ideal, is it not? It sounds as if you ought to be armed with your sword of justice and your shield of purity, as you make your way through the Badlands in order to find the truth. In fact, this is what you, as an empathic individual, is unwittingly doing when you become engaged with our kind. You are all truth seekers, the empath, the codependent, and especially the super empath. You want the truth, and you will apply your indefatigable spirit to acquiring it, without understanding the toll that this misguided folly will have on you as a whole. The need to be told the truth, to find it, and to know it, is a core empathic trait, and as you would expect, it leads you into the trap of being ensnared by our kind, and is heavily exploited. Being a truth seeker is a further sin of the empath. For those who are empathic, tell the truth, but that is because of that other empathic sin, honesty. The empath must always establish the truth of a situation, the truth at the heart of an individual, and in so doing, this allows them to reconcile their own truths. The empath must know the truth. He or she must not only need to understand why somebody is as they are, but they have to be satisfied that this is the truth of the matter. The desire for the truth makes an empath extremely vulnerable to us, since we trade in lies, deal in deceit, and all our currency is counterfeit. Take, for instance, at the outset of the narcissistic dynamic, when we begin our seduction of the empath. He or she wishes to know that this wonderful person is true in their intentions, and whilst the empath might be pleased that others talk about how enamored the narcissist is about them, or how the narcissist seems utterly smitten, the empath must establish the truth from the narcissist him or herself. This, of course, opens the empath up to the charm, magnetism, and allure of the scintillating narcissist, as we are only too happy to tell you what you want to hear, to show you what you want to see, and do what you would have us do. Oblivious to who you are dealing with, until otherwise educated, the empath will, through his or her trusting nature and propensity to deal honestly with others, accept what the narcissist says and does. That amounts to the truth. The narcissist is skilled, through our mirroring, to reflect back at you your own truths, and thus, as you seek the truth, you are shown it. What you do not realize is that you are looking at your own truth, but since it is your truth and not ours, it is so utterly convincing. The adoration that you exhibit towards us is mirrored and reflected back at you. You wish to seek the truth of that adoration, and what do you see? An adoration that is on the same par as your own. How can that then not appear to be the truth? In seeking the truth but looking for it from one who lies so effectively and defrauds with ease, all you find is your own truth, but you fail to recognize it as such, and thus you feel you have found the truth, and you are convinced that what you see is genuine love, is genuine passion, and is genuine adoration. You might liken it to a person who carries with him or her one half of a precious gem and seeks the other half. This person encounters a mirror, but does not know that it is a mirror, and thinks that they see the other half stood before them, since it looks so convincing. Yet to try to touch or grasp or find any depth or substance to this supposed other half, and it will not be there. This is what eventually happens when devaluation occurs, as you see the reflection, and it dawns on you that all you are looking at is what you already had, being made to appear like something else. Thus, in wanting to find the truth and being shown your own truth and not ours, you are utterly convinced as to the legitimacy of our love, passion, and desire for you. Your truth-seeking has made you vulnerable to our deceitful manipulations from the very beginning. Yet the matter worsens. Your pursuit of the truth leaves you vulnerable to perhaps one of the most confusing and bewildering aspects of the narcissistic dynamic, the need to establish the truth during devaluation. Once the array of machinations are wheeled out against you, the gaslighting commences, the lies, the insults, the intimidation, and so much more is used against you. Your quest for the truth has you stuck in the quagmire of our manipulations for a considerable time. Firstly, you do not accept that this monster, which now prevents you from getting a good night's sleep, erupts at the slightest criticism, becomes demanding over apparently nothing, is the person who you fell in love with, or who loves you. This is not the truth that stands before you. The truth must surely have been the person who first seduced you. You know that to be the case, because you sought the truth. Then, during the seduction, you saw it, and you established it. It is that magical, wonderful, adoring person who seems to have vanished, and in its stead, you now see some grotesque version of the person you love. That is not the truth that shouts at you and belittles you. That is not the truth that turns each time you want to go out with your friends into a battle. And that is not the truth that turns its back on you every night in bed. You want to find the true us, the one you saw and established during seduction. And that need, that desire, and that pursuit of this truth means you remain in situ, not escaping, and allowing our abuses to rain down on you again and again. Secondly, you experience the downside of our pathological lies during the devaluation. You were lied to, naturally, during the seduction, but that does not matter. You thought it to be the truth, and you established it as so, and besides, those lies felt good, didn't they? Yet now, the lies wound and hurt, they scar and mark, as we tell you lies about what we have been doing, where we have been, and who with. You are no fool, or so you think, for you have followed us, had others report to you, and you know the truth of what has been happening. Now you must establish that truth with us. You must seek the truth from our lips, without you realizing that we will never do such a thing, since to do so would be to cede control to you. You have not yet grasped who you are dealing with, and thus you remain unaware that we use lies to achieve so much of our aims. Those lies are used to make you dizzy, make you cry, make you exhausted, and we keep on going and will not concede to the truth. How many times have you heard yourself say, "Just tell me the truth, that is all I want you to do. Please, stop lying, just tell the truth. If you would only tell the truth. I want the truth. Give me the truth, please, I am begging you." Are those phrases, and those of a similar kind, echoing about your mind now? Your desire to get to the truth, to hold the truth in front of us and get us to acknowledge it, means you become drawn into the circular arguments, the endless arguments, the denial, the switching and the deflections, which leave you shattered, mystified and spent. Why can he not see the truth when I do? This is the toxic logic that we engage in, of course. But you are not privy to such information at that time, and so you gird your loins, climb back on your steed, and ride out once again in the pursuit of the truth. It is no surprise that you then gallop into the swamp and become bogged down by lies, untruths, and mendacity. Thirdly, during devaluation, it is often the case that you will turn to others to seek confirmation that the truth that you once witnessed is indeed the truth, and you can find it once again. You seek the truth from our coterie, our minions and our lieutenants. You go to them and need to ascertain that we are surely a decent person who is loving and caring, are we not? You walk straight into the facade and its false truth. You hear the answers which you want to hear. We are lauded for our generosity. We are praised for our kindness. We are complimented on our good humour, easy charm, and reliability. There it is. You have sought the truth once again, and you have found it. Yet you fail to recognize it as the false truth, and the false hope which it engenders. Instead of trying to escape from this devaluation, you remain in place, taking comfort from that the facade has told you, and redoubling your efforts to find the truth with us. Thus you remain and exhaust yourself, tilting against the windmill that is us when you think you are slaying the dragon. Accordingly, your empathic trait of being a truth-seeker makes you vulnerable to our seduction, and extremely vulnerable to the effects of our mind games, manipulations, and habitual lying. Were this where it ends, but the valiance of your quest for the truth has a further blow to administer to you. The empathic sin of being a truth seeker heightens your susceptibility to the post-escape and post-discard hoovers. When we open those shutters and allow the bright, shining light of the golden period to fall upon your face, you instantly see that the truth has returned, that false truth which you were shown what feels like such a long time ago. Yet all is not lost. The truth has returned. It is in your grasp, and all you need to do is to seek it out and embrace it, and do so by returning to our fold. By seeking our truth once again, you fall prey to our hoovers, and our control over you is increased again. The desire to seek the truth is noble indeed, but seeking it from one who scorns the truth and takes refuge amongst deceit, lies, and fraudulent intent can only result in this character trait of yours gaining the epitaph of being a sin of the empath.